Late have I loved you, O beauty so ancient and so new. Late have I loved you. For behold, you were within me, and I outside. And I sought you outside. And in my ugliness fell upon those lovely things that you have made. You were with me, and I was not with you. I was kept from you by those things. Yet, had they not been in you, they would not have been at all. You called and cried to me, and broke open my deafness. And you sent forth your beams, and shone upon me, and chased away my blindness. You breathed fragrance upon me, and I drew in my breath, and do now pant for you. I tasted you, and now hunger and thirst for you. You touched me, and I have burned for your peace. Augustine could have been lost in the mists of history, just another Manichaean heretic. But it was not to be. He was held in bondage by this relationship for many years. He had this concubine, and this was working on his outside, and the inside was suffering and could not find rest. He knew that there was no peace deep down. He knew eventually that his soul, his heart, was made for God and had no rest until it found it in Him. That is common ground. All humanity has something of that. As in the case of Saul of Tarsus, Augustine of Hippo was the man for the hour. He eventually was to write volumes and volumes, not a word of which was wasted. Very good Latin, powerful rhetoric, perfectly chiseled, and able to captivate the mind to this day. He talks in a living way to his audience, and we almost hear his words again when we read him, as though he were next to us. I know, because I did my doctorate on him, and it's something which one gets to know from the inside. Spending hours with a person, one gets to know him at a distance. Strange, but the words have life, even in the long dead volumes that we hold. Words are not just shapes, they are bits of soul, sparks that reignite every time we open those dead volumes. Augustine will ever live on the page that he has left. And his rule we read every day. In Latin, actually we sang it in chapter. We got to know it practically by heart. Each word counted and orientated towards what? Charity. The twofold charity which is the gospel. How to love in community so that God may be loved by the brethren. Inseparability of the two dynamics. He could not live without friendship, he admitted. And he wanted the quality of relationships be high. In his refectory in the monastery, he had written on the wall, "No man may eat here who eats his neighbour." That is to say, devouring his reputation by what he says. And if a word came out which hurt, it had to be healed from that same fount which gave the wound. He was insisted that all hurt be soothed and mended by the same mouth that caused it. This is our Holy Father St. Augustine. God give us grace to live like him and have quality both of word and of relationship, for we too one day will pass into the mists of history. Sero ti amavi, tardi ti ho amato. Lui ammette come le cose create attiravano la sua mente, il suo corpo, la sua anima. Aveva una relazione per anni da cui è nato a Deodato, un ragazzo di valore, morto a 19 anni, ma lui aveva un po' l'impressione che aveva, penso, la vocazione sacerdotale anche lui. Si vede che sarebbe stato come suo padre, ma è morto. E dunque Dio attira e tira del bene anche dal male e trova l'anima dove è. Sappiamo la storia che era preso dalla carne, però voleva liberarsi e ha sentito questa voce di angelo o di ragazzo, non si sa, una voce che diceva di prendere quello che aveva davanti, tolle legge, prendi, e lui ha preso il volume di San Paolo e ha trovato con il dito questo versetto: non prendere cura della carne, e ha capito che la grazia sarebbe data. Lui ha voluto una comunità fatta di carità e per questo la sua regola è breve e essenziale. Sono modalità di vivere la carità con autenticità. Per esempio, se la bocca pecca contro la carità, la piaga deve essere guarita dalla fonte stessa, cioè chiedere scusa e perdono con la stessa bocca che ha offeso. E lui ha fatto scrivere sul muro del refettorio: nessuno ha posto a questa tavola che mangia il suo fratello, cioè con le parole. Le parole di Agostino ancora sono vive. Latino perfetto, queste frasi che hanno un impatto ancora, parlano, e si sente ancora la sforza della sua parola quando si rilegge le sue parole. In comunità si cantava in latino ogni mattina un brano della regola di Sant'Agostino e così si aveva in memoria quasi la regola dopo un certo tempo. E ogni parola era forte. È una regola breve ma essenziale, va al punto, e il punto è quello. Voleva una casa in cui Dio era ben amato con qualità di amore umano. La parola di Sant'Agostino è una grazia per la Chiesa, perché fu data all'umanità questa grazia della conversione di Sant'Agostino per dare alla Chiesa un linguaggio teologico, filosofico, forte e preciso. Lui ha plasmato la lingua della Chiesa stessa e il suo pensiero. Il flusso di Sant'Agostino è profondissimo fino ad oggi. Chiediamo questa grazia di apprezzare la parola, di saper prendere un libro e di gustare la forza della verità sentita, ben detta, di essere contento con le cose semplici, l'amore ben vissuto, Dio amato con un cuore che ama bene i fratelli, perché è lo stesso cuore che ama e non si può amare uno senza l'altro. L'amore è semplice, non complichiamo la vita. Custom glory splendor unseen, yet found through Christendom from age to age. Could I could have known what shapes would mean, what strength the voice had left upon the page. Oh, hidden face untraced by any man, we gaze upon this through the memory of characters that hold what thinking can. Pass through the veins of copied history. Oh, wielder of the pen that moved the world, oh, little head that thought the thoughts of all. Teach us to feel the moving of a word, to hear the echo of a sound so small. For thou didst write, and in the heart of thought didst pause to cause a tremor that would stir the heart of what the traveler here called, where waves of moving meaning yet occur. And from the grave of long antiquity, the silent hand yet stirs the wayward limbs, and there is in the sound eternity. For thou hast greater glory no age dim.